Veganism is pure evil, man. I mean, maybe a few months ago you could have been able to still lie to yourself and deny this reality a lot of us have noticed many, many, many years ago. But I don't see how, in this current context of this humanitarian crisis, you could still pretend like it's something good. You have all these vegans cashing in on this humanitarian crisis, using it for self aggrandizement to put themselves on a pedestal and tell you that they told you so. You have all these vegans who don't seem to give a damn about animal lives because all these animals all over the place are getting called for no reason. They're not saying anything about that. It's hilarious how this was supposed to be, world changing over to veganism is supposed to be gradual to a point where the transition would be smooth and the impacts on animals wouldn't be that bad, or humans, and so on and so forth, right? We weren't just going to murder all these animals. The, the farmers were just going to slowly go out of business. Well, that's not happening right now. Vegans, dear veganism, and I know you know this because you're always spying on these farms and the animal food production industry. So I know you know that this is happening, that millions of animals are being culled right now. And nobody's eating them. I know you convinced yourself that someone feeding themselves with animal products is just for taste pleasure, right? As if those weren't the most nutritious foods available on the planet, which is why you had to lie to yourself about that too. In order, again, to be able to say that, well, it's just taste pleasure. But at the very least, you could admit that, it is food and people were eating those animals. Now they're really dying for nothing. They're being called for no apparent reason. And I don't see a single vegan out there saying anything about those poor animals. So what's this ideology of veganism is whatever's clever. And the only constant when it comes to veganism is destroying human health, destroying human ability to be able to feed themselves, destroying human customs. The only constant with veganism is anti humanism. Call it what it is. It was always that, and now this is more apparent than ever. Not only are you cashing in on the humanitarian crisis, you're pushing for more of that. You still, even though all these animals are being killed for no reason and people's food sources of food are being eliminated, and plants too. Not just the most nutritious, best, highest quality foods, animal foods, obviously, but plants too. You're not talking about that. What the hell? Is this the manifestation of veganism is not about diet? Is that what we're seeing here? It's not about what we eat, is it? It's about the fact that we are eating. Here we go. Breatharianism, right? The logical progression of veganism. That has to be. It is. So not only are these people using human suffering to put themselves on the pedestal, they're pushing for more and more humanitarian crisis. Now, even if I grant you that going vegan is better for the planet, the animals, and human beings, that sort of thing has to be done gradually. Obviously, I don't agree with that, but you always told us it would be done this way. And now that it's happening very, very rapidly with both human and animal suffering because of the rapidity at which this is happening, even though you were completely against that in every single damn debate you were in, now that it is actually happening the way you did not want it to happen, you jumped right on that and used it to promote yourself, to tell us that you told us so, to try to say, and once again contradict yourself, that this is good for us. Even though not so long ago, in every single debate, you said that it was going to be a gradual process. and people weren't going to suffer. Animals weren't going to suffer. And yet here we are, both people and animals are suffering, and you seem extremely happy for it. Because veganism is nothing but anti-humanism. That's all that that is. Perhaps a very specific, narrow, definitely narrow-minded branch thereof, but it's definitely, and this can no longer be denied by any intelligent person, anybody who's aware of what's going on. You could no longer deny the fact that veganism is pure evil, because people such as Earthling Ed, Dr. Neil Barnard, and what's that golem's name? Gregor. They're all proving it right now. There's only a handful, only one that I know of, a handful of vegans that are telling the truth about this crisis, seemingly caring about what is happening to people in the midst of this, once again, humanitarian crisis. So to sit there and benefit from it, and to push the very agenda that's only going to contribute to it further, I guess morality has to be subjective in order for you to call yourself ethical. Veganism is nothing but pure evil. Always was and always will be. Thank you for watching.